Hi everyone, my name's Ian Gibbs. I'm the Director of Data Leadership and Learning at JICMAIL, and I'm going to be walking you through a short training module on how to extract planning insight from the JICMAIL database. In this module, we're going to be focusing on how we can use the audience database to uncover insight into the hidden target audiences who are likely to be interacting with mail. So just as a reminder, in our previous modules, we looked at how to run a basic query on the JICMAIL audience dataset. And we also looked at how to drill down into specific advertiser category information. We're now going to look at how to drill down into more detailed target audience information. You'll remember that whenever we looked at a male target audience, they tended to under-index for exposure. One of the main reasons being that all mail passes through the hands of the household coordinator, and the household coordinator on average tends to be female. So what we're going to do now is have a look at where we can actually find men who are likely to be interacting with mail the most. So it's quite simple really. What we'll do is we will select men, we'll create a base of men, so we're only looking at a male target audience overall. So you'll notice now that we're looking at a sample size of 12,693, equating to 32.3 million men in the population. And we're going to select a mail type, so let's just say for the purposes of this example, let's just say we'll look at door drops at the overall level. We won't put a category break on it. And we're going to look at audience. We're going to try and find audiences who are likely to be exposed to mail before we look at frequency. So let's just drop those into the columns. And in terms of drilling down into this audience, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at geodemographics. There's mosaic groups in there at the moment. As of next quarter, we'll also have acorn groups. So I'm just going to look at this at the top level. So we have the sort of top level mosaic groups. We've also got very specific mosaic types as well in there. But just for this example, I'm going to look at the top level mosaic groups. If I put those into our rows, and I then rank this based on index, so how likely these audiences are to be exposed to door drops, what we're actually finding is quite a variety of audiences. So the male target audience most likely to be interacting with door drops are vintage value, so slightly older audiences. Then we've got transient renters, obviously people who are renting, they aren't homeowners. But we've also got city prosperity in there as well, so quite an upmarket audience. And as you scroll down, you'll see that you can find a real variety of different target audiences within this male universe who are likely to be exposed to door drops. So that's just an example about how you can drill down into more granular target audience information. I'm just going to show you another example now. So I'm just going to clear our rows here. And for this example, we are going to look at the finance category. So we're going to look at finance for DM. Again, what we're going to do is we are going to look at audience and frequency. We're going to put those into our columns now. We are going to look at a target audience of homeowners. So tenure type. So these are people who own their homes. I'm going to put those into the bases. Just select homeowners. And I'm just going to put age groups into our rows. So imagine here that we're looking at a finance advertiser who is targeting much older target audiences. So if we actually rank our audience figures now based on index, this kind of confirms what this advertiser always suspects, that it's older audiences who are most likely to be interacting with finance mail. So 65 plus year olds, and then 55 to 64 year olds, and then 45 to 54 year olds. However, if we now rank on frequency of exposure, so not the likelihood of someone to be exposed to mail at all, but how often they're interacting with it, so we're going to rank it here on frequency. So what this tells us is actually, although we've got some slightly older audiences who are interacting with finance DM the most, actually the third option down, we can see 17 to 24-year-old homeowners are really likely to be interacting with finance DM, actually with a frequency of exposure of 4.23. So again, this has uncovered a hidden target audience here. It may well be that this advertiser's never thought of targeting a young audience with finance DM, but may well consider adding them into the mix for their next campaign. So there are just a couple of examples about how you can extract insight into hidden target audiences using the JICMAIL audience database.